is it that you would give up that personal profitability as a broker on your own and just decide to, hey, you know what, we're just gonna jump on the EXP and let them broker? Why would you do that?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing was when I had my brokerage, it was just my team, right? So I didn't have independent agents coming there. And one of the things, is I would meet and talk to agents that were looking to join my team or whatever. I didn't take everybody, obviously, right? Probably maybe 30% that really wanted, maybe 40%. So that was a lot of people that, it just weren't a good fit. Maybe they were, I didn't feel like I could really match what they needed, or they didn't want what I had, right? And so I thought one of the things, there's a lot of decisions, but in deciding to come to EXP, the idea was, okay, if I'm, let's say if I met with 100 agents during a year, and 30 or 40 of them might be good for my team, or that might make sense, right? And so maybe I hire 20 of them throughout the year, right? Which is a lot, right? And there's still turnover, just because real estate's a 90% turnover business, right? But let's assume we're going to do way better, but we hire 20 of those. That means 80% are just never even good for your team, and they just kind of go away. And I thought, well, what if having conversation, what if I could just say, hey, you know what, you could still be partners with me, but you don't have to be, you don't have to be on my team. You can have your own branding, do whatever you want, but you can still be partners to a certain extent inside here. So I thought that would open up another revenue stream, right? And not doing more work, but just doing the same things. And so that was big to me. And then also over time, when you're training and you're helping agents, a lot of times there's a breakup period where as you run a big team, it's, people come to a certain point, whether it's real or imagined, they feel like, oh, I've got to leave in order to be able to go to that next level. And it's always, it's frustrating, right? It feels frustrating from the team leader to go, I've poured so much into you. And also it's, and a lot of people, good teammates feel bad too, because they're like, I gained a lot out of this. And so now in a lot of cases, we're able to stay in business where I'm able to go, hey, you know what, when you're ready, stay in business together. Let me help you go start a team, do it. What can I do to help support you? And maybe it's not the same revenue stream as what before, but again, I can still have some. And if we do things right, and if I've done a good job training them, they're going to be productive, and actually I can make more as they go and expand, and people are attracted to them. So it opens up a lot of revenue streams that were never possible before, and it gets rid of kind of the adversarial feel to more of a partnership feel, and that feels a lot better.
Yeah,
the culture is amazing, right? Yeah. And you think about even over the last year, over a year. I think we're best when we're face to face. I think that's where we really shine, where you really get it. And so even in a virtual environment, we're still doing really, really well. Mm-hmm. But I could just only imagine how well we'd be doing if we got to be able to have those relationships a little tighter. So yeah, I agree. It's good. The future's bright for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. I tell you what, I know we've got different appointments to get to, so we don't have a whole lot of other time. What
That's your classy way of saying I talk too much and I love you.
You're a crack up. No. You have a high energy. I know you probably don't drink caffeine. I don't know. 3 a.m. Oh my gosh.
I just had a big day. I had to get up early, get some stuff done. So that's
awesome. You're just rapidly expanding like crazy. And so I want to see, is there a point when you thought, holy cow, I can't handle too much expansion. I can't, this is like way bigger than I ever imagined it would be.
Well, yes and no. Let me explain that, right? I'm not a great recruiter. I'm really not. But just like when we sat down, right? So we were introduced by a great friend of ours, Jeff Sutherland, right? And so, Jeff, when, I announced, he reached out to me and we met and we went through and we decided we were going to, partner together and we were going to, get together and work together. And that's great. Right. And if it was just Jeff, that's great. Like, I'm like, I could spend all time with him. I love that. Right. He's not needy. I wish he needed me more, but he doesn't. But awesome. I could work with that. But then what happens is, he introduced you to me, right? So I met with you and we went through and that was awesome. Why? Because I was helping him win. And so out of the 4,000, really, I've brought in 62 people or whatever, and I've got support on my team. And most of those people have been on my team, really. And so when you really think about, oh my gosh, you built this massive business, really what I did is I really brought in 60 something people. And out of that, about 10% of people are really going to grow. They're going to really, really grow. And so out of those 60 something people, most of them just want to sell real estate, which I've been training to do that for a long time. Right. I could train people on to sell real estate. That's not hard. Right. And then 10, 15% of them are going to want to grow. And that's who you spend your time with. People like you, right? That are going, hey, I want help. So I can help the people that I bring in duplicate themselves, because that's really what this end of the business is.
Right.
And then what happens is I spend a lot of my time on people that my partners bring in, or my partners bring in, or my partners bring in. Because why? I want all of them to win. So that's where I spend my time. But again, I'm spending it with the people that are high energy, that are focused, that know what they're doing, and they want a bigger life. Yeah. I'm not spending my time with the whiners, the complainers, the boring people. Like, no, they self-select themselves out. Right. I get messaged all the time from people, hey, I need your help talking to this brokerage or talking to this big team or whatever. I'm like, so what happens is that actually increases my energy. It doesn't take it away. Right. Versus if you're like, if I had to handle all 4,000, it would be impossible. Yeah. And so that's where this really comes from, is how do you grow? Well, you grow by finding one person that wants to duplicate what you've done, and you give everything and you help them be productive. And you help them win, and you help them duplicate, and then they help the next person. So if I had to, kind of visually, if I brought in someone and they brought in 50 people, and that person I brought in wasn't helpful, then that's a problem. Because why? Those 50 people are going to come to you. Right. So if you're not expanding, it's because you haven't trained the person that you brought in to expand in the right way. Right. And so what I see is people that come in that they haven't been sold themselves, or they haven't really learned the system. They haven't even understand what EXP can do. And so if they bring in people, those people are needy because they don't have their stuff solved. When you come in and you help that person win, you've got a higher likelihood of being able to duplicate themselves. And that's where you get that. That's where it goes crazy. It's not because I helped 4,000. It's because I helped 60 in 3 years, which really is about 2 people a month, which is actually pretty bad for recruiting.
Well, and now you're having fun doing that and coaching and using the system. There's a system already in place, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just there. All you have to do is direct people and put them in front of the system.
Right.
And then they teach them to do the same thing. And that's what we're doing.
All about duplication, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's amazing how it just starts happening. Well, look at GoGo. She's able to do it now from Miami instead of Michigan in the snow. Yep. So it's pretty cool. Cool.
And I did a call for her earlier today, right? I did in her group, right? And she's awesome. And she's been and one of the things about GoGo, right, is she always knew how to be productive herself. She figured out how to do that. Yeah. And so then she's like, well, watch this. I'm going to go out and find people that are like me, being her. And so she went out and she attracted all of these people that were like her, and she showed them how to be productive, and she's done incredible. Yeah. And then she's like the biggest recruiter in the company, right? And this is not just because of me, right? Don't take this because of just me. But I think there was a series of conversations that she was like, hey, I'm bringing in all of these people more than anybody, but my whole group is not expanding at the level that maybe some others. Why is that? And I said, well, the biggest thing is because my life experience was being on a mega team and living in that, and being an independent broker. And so I'm totally comfortable in that world. So when people come over, they come over 10 people, 20 people, 30 people at a time, or people in my group. And so that grows exponentially than one person. And so I said, GoGo, I said, just realize it's kind of like if you sell a house, if you sell a $100,000 house versus a $500,000 house, it's still one house. What happens if you just lift your eyes up, instead of just looking at that one, you look at the $1 million house or the $500,000 house. And what she's done over the last few weeks is now she's got these 30-person brokerage coming over, these big teams that are coming over. And so then you're going to start to see her expand dramatically. And that's the same thing for all of us, is you can attract what you want, and you're going to attract what you are comfortable with. Right. New agents that come in, if they're renters, guess what? They get a lot of renters. right?
Right.
If they live in a really nice house and they live in a gated community, guess what they're going to sell a lot of? Nice houses, because they feel comfortable with it.
Right.
And so I always tell people, fall in love with expensive houses.
Right. That's right. Exactly.
And from an attraction standpoint, fall in love with big teams and big brokerages and things like that, because that's what you're going to end up attracting.
That's crazy you're saying that, because I'm listening to the Audible Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it is all about mindset. It's just like all back to mindset. And she does have that kind of mindset where you tell her she can't do something. She kicks her mindset in gear and shows you she can.
Yeah.
And also I get what you're saying about some people just say, you can do that, I can't do that. Because I've heard that before, and I'm just me. I just, all I do and what I've done before when I got into real estate was tell me what I need to do. You tell me what I need to do and then go do it. And that's how I became, able to sell over 18 million my first year and a half.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations.
It's like you can't get in your own way. You have to step aside and say, I want to get as many rejections as possible, because you're going to get more, you're going to attract more sellers that way.
Go for no.
Go for no. So so I hear what you're saying. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out on your busy day.
Oh, and it's awesome to spend time with you.
You always drop just golden nuggets for anybody out there. So you've got a lot of lucky agents out there to listen to this. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And congratulations on all your success. And obviously, if anybody's watching this, obviously this is the model, right? This is the model. We're going to, 1 million agents in 100 countries over the next 10 years. And it's only possible by partnering and building with the right model and the right people that have done that and that create that culture and that environment. Right. And, I can tell you, Mark's not here, but I can tell you, Mark and Mel, they've got it together. CRG Group is amazing. And it would be an honor to partner and even just learn together, right? And get better. So if you're watching this, reach out to, Mel and see what that looks like, right? Have that conversation and see what that's all about. But I appreciate you having me on. And it's just been an honor being here.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much.